What if I told you you could double your business without spending a single extra dollar on ads? Sounds impossible, right? Stick with me for 60 seconds and I'm going to prove it with simple math. Businesses hire me to double or triple their revenue without spending more on ads. You know the feeling. Phones buzzing while you're trying to finish a job? Truck cab is full of receipts that you haven't entered. Working 60 hours a week but feeling broke at the end of the month? You're getting calls, you're doing good work, but somehow the money's just not sticking. Does that sound familiar? Here's what I've discovered. The problem isn't that you need more customers. It's that money is leaking out in 7 different places. And most owners are chasing the big win while missing the easy fixes. Let me show you what I mean. Think about your clients right now. How long do they typically stick around? Maybe 12 months? Maybe 18? What if you kept them just 18 days longer? That's it. 1 extra phone call, 1 follow-up text. On a $2,000 client, that's an extra $100 in revenue. Multiply that across 100 clients, and that's $10,000 more from people who already know and trust you. No marketing, no sales pitches, just staying in touch. Does that make sense so far? Now, what if you could do that same thing in 7 different areas? Small improvements that stack on top of each other. I call these the 7 profit levers. When you improve each one by just 5%, the compounding effect is incredible. Most people think that 5% improvements in 7 areas equals 35% growth total. It's not how math works. When things start to multiply together. Let me tell you about Mike, a local HVAC guy, who is exactly where you may be right now. Mike was doing about $800,000 a year, working from sunrise to sunset. His truck dashboard was covered in invoices that he hadn't processed. His phone would ring during dinner, he'd answer it because he needed the work. But at the end of the month, after paying his guys, after covering all the materials, after all the other expenses, there just wasn't much left. You've been there, right? Mike's problem wasn't leads. He was getting plenty of calls. His problem was opportunities were slipping through the cracks. Clients were leaving for cheaper guys, and his team wasn't seeing obvious upsell opportunities. We identified his 7 profit levers and picked the easiest one first and made one simple change. Mike started calling every client 30 days after finishing their job, just to check in. No sales pitch, just a, hey, how's everything running? The result? His client retention went from 65 to 72% in the first month. But here's what blew his mind. 40% of his clients mentioned other projects that they were thinking about. New water heaters next year, ductwork in the basement, maintenance plan for their businesses. By simply asking and staying in touch, his frequency went from 1.2 jobs per client to 1.4. 2 levers improved with one simple change. Let me break down all 7 so you can see where your money might be leaking. Lever 1. Lead generation for most owners. This is basically where the phone rings but nobody picks up. Mike was missing 30% of his calls because he was on the job site. A simple fix? It's just a better phone system. Now he misses around 15%. Same marketing budget, just 15% more conversations. Lever 2. Phone calls to appointments. This is where you get the call, but they don't book. Mike stopped saying, hey, can I give you a quote, and started saying, I can show you 3 options and help you pick the right one. He went from 40 to 45%. Lever 3. Closing rate. This is where you show up, you give a great presentation, and they say, we're going to think about it. Mike stopped competing on price, and he started competing on value. He added maintenance plans and went from 25 closing rate to a 28% closing rate. Lever 4. Client retention. This is where good clients disappear after one job. That follow-up calls we talked about, 65 to 72% retention. Lever 5. Average sale. This is where you fix the original problem but miss the obvious add-ons. Mike started asking, hey, while I'm here, is there anything else you've been putting off? His average job went from 3,200 to 3,400. Leverage 6. Frequency. This is where clients call you once and then forget you even exist. The follow-up system created repeat business, 1.2 to 1.4 jobs. Lever 7, cost reduction. This is where small waste adds up to big losses. Mike reduced material waste by 8% just by having his guys measure twice and cut once. Sounds obvious, but most people don't track it. Each one of these, does these sound familiar? Now here's where it gets interesting. Mike started with $800,000 in revenue. His first improvement, better phone system. 15% more leads, then started converting, and his revenue jumped to $848,000. Second, better appointment conversations. Now we're talking $872,000. Third, higher closing rate, $890,000. See how each improvement builds on the previous one? Better retention, $911,000. Fifth, higher average sale, $934,000. And then sixth, more frequency, $961,000. And finally, cost reduction. His profit margin went from 15% to 22%. On $961,000 in revenue, that's $211,000 in profit versus $120,000 in profit on the original $800,000. Mike's profit increased by 76% in 8 months, all from small 5% improvements in each area. And now he's working fewer hours, still home for dinner most nights, and his truck cab is a lot cleaner. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Ryan, I don't have an office person. I don't have fancy systems. I'm just a one-man show. You know what? So was Mike when we started. Every single improvement was something he could do for himself, or he taught just one other person. The phone system is just a script, a cheaper answering service. The follow-up calls, Mike did them himself, hands-free while driving between jobs. The waste reduction, one team meeting and a simple checklist on his phone. None of this required extensive softwares or additional staff or a huge big marketing degree. Just small changes to things that you're already doing. Here's something that you can try this week. While your coffee is still hot, pick 5 clients you haven't talked to in the last 90 days and call them. Don't sell anything, just say, hey, I was thinking about your place and I wanted to make sure everything is still running smoothly. Is there anything you need help with? 3 out of 5 of those are going to appreciate the call. 1 out of every 5 is going to say that they need something done. That's new revenue from a 10-minute phone call you can make from your truck. Try it. See what happens. And then come back and tell me how it went. Here's what trips most people up. They try to improve all 7 levers at the same time. It's like trying to fix every single problem in your house in one weekend. You're going to get burned out, you're going to get overwhelmed, and then quit. Pick one. Focus on it for 30 days. Get your 5% improvement, and then make it automatic, and then move on to the next one. Most disciplined, growth-minded owners are going to start with client retention because it's the fastest and easiest to implement. It's the easiest to measure, and it doesn't cost anything except just a little bit of time. Plus, you're calling people who already like you. Let me be straight about you with the results. Best case scenario is you see a 50 to 80% profit growth in the first year. Average case, maybe 20 to 40%. Minimum, if you only improve 3 levers and you still see a 15 to 20% growth, here's the beautiful part. This compounds year after year. Small gains are going to stack up faster than big gambles. Write that down. It's worth remembering. Remember Mike working 60-hour weeks? His dinner was interrupted by phone calls, stressed about his cash flow. Today he's doing $1.2 million a year, working 45 hours a week. And his profit margins are higher than they've ever been. Same business, same market, same competition. Just smarter systems and consistent improvements. If it worked for Mike, it can work for you. Actually, speaking of working smarter, I want you to think of one business owner who's grinding their gears, chasing the next big thing, but missing the money sitting right in front of them. Share this video with them because when more local businesses grow profitably, the whole community will benefit. So here's your next move. First, pick one lever to focus on this month. If you want my complete breakdown of all 7 levers with specific examples and scripts, drop a profit in the comments, and I'll send you the profit multiplier cheat sheet. No strings attached. Second, if you're serious about implementing this and want help identifying your biggest opportunity, I'll do a free strategy call. We'll look at your specific situation and identify your highest impact lever and create a 90-day plan. Just comment like a strategy and I'll reach out personally. Remember, you don't need more complexity, more tools, or more marketing budgets. You just need to work smarter, make small improvements, and let the compounding effect of it do the heavy lifting. All because you can chase the big win. It doesn't mean you should, when the easy money is already in your truck. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.